This is a very beautiful verse on the quality called titiksha. Titiksha means to endure or forbear. Endure or forbear. Okay? So it is a very important quality, power and strength. It's a strength that we need to develop. Now, earlier on a previous talk, I have actually gone through this verse, and the talk was called Resilience. You know, that talk is up there on YouTube. But now I'm going to take same topic but quite differently. I'll take it quite differently, okay? Because I know many people are watching all the different classes that are going on. So now we'll look at this topic of resilience, titiksha, forbearance and endurance. We'll look at it a different way. Now, first thing to understand, this thing we have to understand, is that to endure a situation, it is not compulsory to endure every situation. Endurance is not compulsory. It is optional. That's the first thing you must understand. Our Shastra is not saying endure everything. No, not at all. Not at all. There are times you will have to take action. And there are times you will have to avoid. These are the three things, three options we have in life. Endure, avoid, act. Three options. There is no recipe as to when you are supposed to endure, when you are supposed to act, and when you are supposed to avoid. It is entirely dependent upon the individual's circumstance and choice. You will have to choose when you want to endure, avoid, act. And then, of course, we will have to live with the consequences of them. Yeah. Now, we know, in general, if we were to look at a situation, what is a situation that is worth enduring? A situation that is worth enduring is when there is a greater gain to be had in the long term. When there is a greater gain to be had in the long term than your current situation, which may be painful, uncomfortable, unpleasant, it may be worth enduring. Why am I enduring? Greater gain. Greater gain. Yeah. So we must always be clear about our end goal. This is what's going to help us in the decision-making process. What do I eventually want? What exactly do I want? This is what we must be clear about. If we're clear about that, it'll be easy to decide whether to endure or whether to act or whether to avoid. Yeah? So no one but yourself will have to make that choice. And that's something you must be clear about. Endurance is a choice. It is not a compulsion. So it is not that anyone's dharma is to endure every terrible act of, misbehavior that goes on. Please don't think that. Because sometimes we think that some people in life, their station is just to put up and endure with everything that goes on. Incorrect. That's incorrect understanding of dharma. It's actually a lazy way of understanding dharma. Why is it lazy? Because some people, they are more comfortable enduring every situation. They can be conflict averse. They may not have clear understanding of their end goal. And they may not feel empowered to create change. They can also be scared of avoiding, because avoidance means no relationship. The relationship becomes strained. So if I choose to avoid a certain person, you must understand one thing, that relationship is going to become more strained, which means distant, I should say, distant. Some people don't want to lose the relationship, so they don't avoid. But at the same time, they're very scared of conflict. Therefore, they don't act. So between fear of conflict, fear of avoidance, they get caught and left with one option: to endure. This is not how you make the choice. Because this is a choice based on fear. This is not a choice based on wisdom. We must always make the choice based on what is the best for everyone in the situation. Myself plus the other member. And in all relationships, we will have to exercise these choices. All relationships, especially long-term relationships. In long-term relationships, there are times when you have to change, take a stance, say no. There are times where to be quiet, endure. And then there are times when you just have to avoid, or just spend a little bit of time apart. It's required. It's also healthy. Absence makes the heart grow fonder. That's why sometimes good to spend a little bit of time away. Bhagavan thought the same thing as well. So he said, let's put COVID and everyone just a bit of time apart. We all need a bit of time apart. After COVID, we can all come back together. Okay? So Bhagavan is also helping us. No? That's avoidance. That's avoidance. Yeah. So the first thing about endurance is that you must consciously choose to endure a situation. That's the most important thing. It should not come out of compulsion or habit. When it comes out of compulsion or habit, it can be driven by fear or confusion. And because it's driven by a negative emotion, the experience of enduring is also negative. Because it's driven by a negative emotion. It's not driven by positive wisdom. It's not driven by clear outcome. It's not driven by higher goal and purpose. Driven by fear. The fear is that if I don't stay in contact with them, if I avoid them, I lose a relationship. The fear is that if I talk up, conflict will be there, they'll get upset with me, unpleasant things will happen. Because of these two fears, we get caught in the middle. Let us just endure it. But please understand, it is no one's dharma to endure every situation. No such thing exists. Draupadi did not endure her harassments. Sita did not endure the idea of Sri Ram going to the forest without her. She stood up at that time and said, no, I want to go as well. Really, she was supposed to stay in the palace. The exile was not for Sita, it was for Ram. Everyone said, don't go, don't go, don't go. Sri Ram said, don't go. In-law said, don't go. Guru Vasishtha said, don't go. Everyone said, don't go. She said, no. Now I stand up and I make my choice. And she made a choice as the youngest member of that entire Sabha, assembly. And as the youngest member, she stood up and made a choice that I will go with Sri Ram. She did not endure that choice. She was proactive about her decision and choice to go to the forest. You see, that's a great heroes have managed all three options. They have never followed one option throughout their whole life. Yeah, this is how it. So the first thing about endurance is you must choose it. You must choose it. Choose it according to wisdom. Choose it according to your long-term goal. Whatever your long-term goal is, you choose that. Okay. Now I'm going to tell you a story. Some of you may have heard. But I love this story. This story is something I heard when I was 20 years old, I think. It had a big impact on me. I was in the ashram and one senior brahmachari had told me this story, and I liked it very much. And the story goes that once upon a time, in a museum, okay, there was this marble floor. And there was on top of the marble floor a beautiful, exquisite, most praiseworthy marble statue. And it was magnificent, masterpiece. Every day, people would come to the museum, standing on the marble floor and then staring and gazing up at this most exquisite statue made out of marble, sculpture. At the end of the night, all the guests had left, all the visitors. The marble floor speaks to the marble statue and says, life is very unfair. Why is it that you get all the praise and adoration, you get all the glory, you get all the love and affection, you get all the attention, whereas I get nothing? Everyone stands on me. They don't wash their feet or shoes. With dirty shoes, they stomp on me. They drop food on me. Yeah? They drop drink on me. They don't clean me. And you are cleaned and lights and beautiful and ornamentation takes place. Why is that? We are both made out of marble. This is unfair. So now marble statue looked at the marble floor with great compassion, and said, you see, at the time when I was being sculpted, our Creator, He came to you and He came to me. And He put chisel to you. And He started chiseling away at you. But when He chiseled at you, you cried in pain. I can't bear this. I can't tolerate this. I can't deal with this. And hearing your cries, out of compassion, He put the chisel and hammer away. And He said, I won't touch you. He then took up me, and with the same chisel and hammer, He started chiseling away. And when He did that, there was pain. It was difficult. It was very uncomfortable, very unpleasant. But I endured that pain. I endured that discomfort. I endured everything. The shining, the polishing, the cutting down, all that I endured. Why? Because I knew He was going to make me into a masterpiece. I knew He would make me into an image of perfection. Therefore, I endured this pain, and that's why today I am what I am. Okay? I love this story. It had a big impact on me, that whenever I was in the ashram and somebody yells at you from management, why are you brahmacharis doing this? And then some other brahmachari yells at you, you're sitting in my seat. And then very rarely, but sometimes our acharya got a bit angry and he looked at us. Why are people sleeping and not chanting Vedas? What's happening? All these things. Every time this discomfort came, conflict came, problems came, I kept thinking, chisel. The chisel is being applied. And I thought, what is my goal? My goal is to shed this ego. And this world is going to help me shed it. by screaming at me every now and then, yelling at me every now and then, criticizing me every now and then. And I said, you know what? I will bear this. So I kept thinking of this story. That think of the masterpiece that you will become if you can endure this type of behavior and criticism. Yeah. And, this is how. Now, this is just a story. But this has got so many key elements in it as to how we can develop more resilience and endurance. Okay? So the first aspect to developing greater resilience and endurance is that we must be optimistic. Optimism is important. Yeah? I said if our endurance is based on fear of avoidance, fear of conflict, therefore, I just go for enduring. If it is based on fear, it is very pessimistic. But if I can see a higher, greater goal as to why I am enduring this pain and discomfort, if I can see that, then now you have a higher goal, and that higher goal gives you optimism. There is something at the end of this journey. Yeah, there is something beautiful to enjoy at the end of this difficult journey. There's going to be a beautiful vista, view to see. People do mountain climbing and all that. Mountain climbing is very difficult. Sometimes you have to hold on with 2 fingers onto the rock. Use every part of your body, your shoulders and your arms. Forearms, very tough on the forearms, mountain climbing. Lifting yourself. Sometimes hanging from the rock. Very difficult. But why do they go through such intense pain? Because the view at the top of the mountain, breathtaking. Breathtaking is that view. In life, we are also climbing a mountain. That mountain is called our ego. And we have to surmount that ego. Then from above the ego, beyond the ego, look at life. Then you will come to see the most divine vision of life. This is the most. See the vision of life beyond the ego. There you have divine vision. Called Samyak Darshanam. Perfect vision. Life is amazing. Each and every aspect, beautiful, beautiful. So first thing is, with resilience, be optimistic. Always keep your goal in mind. What am I trying to achieve? And through this resilience and endurance, I will achieve this. Okay? So optimism. The second aspect is willingness to adapt and be sculpted. Willingness to change. A lot of people tell me they're very interested in growth. Swamiji, we want to grow. Yeah? But you must understand, what does growth mean? Growth means willingness to change. We must be flexible, adaptable. Yeah? If that willingness is there, you can also endure. If that willingness is there. So, one of the greatest goals in life is just to be a more adaptable person. That itself is a great goal to keep. Yeah. Why? Who is the one that finally succeeds in creation? They say survival of the fittest. That word fittest is very misunderstood. People think fittest means strongest. It's not survival of the strongest. It's survival of the most adaptable. Whoever is the most adaptable, they're the one that survive. Strongest doesn't always survive. There are many huge, powerful creatures that are now extinct. Because they have very little adaptability. Why man is the crown of creation? Human beings are the crown of creation because adaptability. High level of adaptability. Can live in any area of the planet. Yeah. So, when we talk about being flexible, we talk about being adaptable. It means it means the capacity to survive and thrive in any situation. That's what it means. The capacity to survive and thrive in any situation. So, second aspect of flexibility, or second aspect of resilience, endurance, willingness to adapt. Willingness to adapt, okay? Third aspect, we need some self-control. Okay? We need to, because as we're enduring things, our frustrations rise, our angers rise, and all of a sudden we start feeling, want to let things out. Yeah? But you can spoil your entire project if you do that. If that marble statue excruciatingly cries out, then the sculptor leaves. The sculptor leaves. And the half-finished project only remains. Half-finished project. Yeah. So, self-control is required. Capacity to control mind, capacity to control senses. Shama and Dhamma. We've seen that. We saw that last week. Yeah. So that's the third aspect. Self-control. Fourth aspect, this is a good one. Sense of humor. Don't take life so seriously, okay? No situation lasts forever. Even this will pass. Gurudev would say, even this will pass. Don't take anything too seriously. Huh? Oh, my family member is in stinky mood. And in such a stinky mood, they have become touch me not. Touch me not, can't go near them. You go near them, whoosh, explosion. So you wonder, how long is this stinky mood going to last? Don't worry. It can't last forever. The mind has to change. Fragrance will change. Don't worry. Seasons change, so will this person. You might sit there and say, no, I've been married for 15 years. Nothing has changed. No, it changes. It changes. Things change. Huh? And generally before people have children, there's a certain personality. Then after children, change. They soften up a bit. People tend to soften up. Yeah? And then another change comes, grandchildren. Oh, when grandchildren come, then people become very soft like butter. Because their little granddaughter, the chubby cheeks, so cute. She comes at a party, Dadi Ma, Nani Ma. And when she just looks at you like that, heart melts. And you say, give us some more sweet. Here, laddu. Your own children did not give a single laddu. No laddus. You have to deserve that laddu. Work for that laddu. Earn that laddu. Grandchild, one smile. Laddu, 2 laddus, 3 laddus, 4 laddu. Why? You want to keep her as a laddu. That's the key. That's the key. Because you are what you eat. So you're trying to keep her chubby and round. Laddu. Soften up. We soften up. Everyone softens up. So, don't take anything too serious because nothing lasts only. Everything will change. Even this will pass. Just remember, this is just one chapter in the book of your life. It's just one chapter. That's it. And many times when we look back at our own previous chapters and we say, oh, so painful it was. But now we laugh. Is it not? You know, when people are in high school, especially Indian, this family thing, they never let us, shave. They don't like us shaving and all that. They say, don't shave. They wait till the child has grown this funny mustache and beard and all that. It's neither a man's mustache Don't know what it is. Sometimes patches are there as well. But they don't want that boy to shave. Once you shave, just start shaving all the time. So I said, don't shave. So that boy has to go through this Australian education system. Wearing this funny mustache, funny thing like that. And it's very traumatic at that time. So, no friends, everyone making fun of me. And this thin mustache is called peach fuzz. It's called peach fuzz because it's like a soft peach fuzz. So they say you're peach fuzz on you. You don't have a man's. You don't have a man's mustache, a man's beard. You're peach fuzz. So you're laughed and mocked and ridiculed, Mr. Peach Fuzz or Peachy, all these type of things happen. But now when you look back at it 20 years later, you don't even know where those friends are. You don't know what's happened to them. And now your peach fuzz has turned into this thick forest that no razor blade can even cut this thing down. It's so strong, so brittle, and what do you call it? It's like razor blades, sandpaper, like sandpaper. Your child touches it, the skin comes off. Too much. Every time you look back at the difficult times in your life, you can start laughing at them. There's a lot of humor behind all these things. Now, if you can laugh at your past pain, you can also laugh at your present pain. Because given time, this will also be just one hilarious event. One very hilarious chapter that when you tell the next generation, your grandchildren, little Laddu, when you tell her, she will be laughing her head off at all the things that you had to do to raise her parents. Just laughter only. So, in this way, sense of humor, very important. Don't be too serious in life, okay? And last aspect is, it is good to have social support. Some friends, some family, confidant, someone you can talk to. Yeah? Because sometimes during that period, it's a little bit difficult. Okay? So social support. And I found another thing that's very important and helpful. If you have a person in your life who has got this type of pleasant, optimistic patience and endurance, then to see or visualize their face become very helpful. Very helpful. And Guruji is taking talks on Prahlad. Prahladji is one who has got this. Because in the midst of all harassment and torture, he has endured it. He endured all harassment and torture because inflicted by father. And son cannot go against father. And he had belief, Bhagavan will protect me. Lord is my protector. When Lord is here, what is there to fear? Nothing to fear. Yeah. So Prahlad Maharaj, epitome of endurance. So many attacks, but saved from all. You see, sometimes you have to think of a person like that. Now I give Puranic person, but now you can think of a person in your life. There's one who optimistically endured. Not that they became bitter. Okay? Some people become bitter. Not like that. They should become beautiful through this experience. So in this way, different ways we can develop resilience. Resilience, titiksha. Okay?